welcome back to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I'm AspieAnswersAll, or I'm known as Aspie, and I'm all about creating mental health and awareness versus sharing my life story and journeying with you guys about my conditions of especially syndrome, anxiety and the like, so that you can get to know me hopefully more than just these masks of diagnoses underneath this face of mine. But no further ado, also I do some tips and advice along the way, as well as basically talking about some, pills of wisdom and knowledge and experience based on my everyday encounters and my hardships, and as well as maybe with what you guys go through of some either tips or advice, or as I call it, pills of wisdom for you all, so that hopefully that it can lighten up the day and be motivated and encouraged, and hopefully learn something along the way from me, either based through my life experiences or just through something that I've given you, and maybe you can relate and click on one way or another. No further ado, guys, basically I am doing right now the AspieAnswersAll series along with the ADHD series that I'm missing a few parts there in my ADHD series as I shared. So I'm going to be back on board right now to try and do them for you. But this one's, for the first one, is the how to, calm down a child that has their meltdowns. This one is just hopefully going to be a gentle reminder, and it may be easy for some to know how to handle a child with, a meltdown, but then again sometimes it's just always good just to remind each other on how to handle different people with different needs in one way or another to meet their needs as well. So let's begin this, and hopefully you've learned something along the way as continuing on. This is the last part of it, which is part 3, understanding the causes of meltdowns. As we know, there are a lot of reasonings to why a child will have their meltdown, regardless what it may be. The classic sign, as I said before, is for them is mainly because they're in an overcrowded environment, and basically their stimuli is just getting so overwhelming that their hypersensitivity versus their hyposensitivity is just overtaking their thought patterns and whatever else that made them look normal. I think it's the word normal, basically in the first place, that they looked also calm and collected, and then that happens. But then again, we need to know how this is happening, why it's happening, and what can we do to avoid that from happening. But then again, you've got to bear in mind though what I shared just previously in the piece, that meltdowns are out of our control basically, but if we can manage them in a better way, then they will be able to be managed but not cured. Like anything, nothing can be cured. It's all about managing and helping each other out to understand. But anyway, let's begin this part 3. Okay, number 1, as I just mentioned, is watching out for any overstimulating or distressing environments, be it whatever it may be, because as we know, basically an autistic child can be ill-equipped to handle these type of environments and activities that are so intense and overstimulating. So number 1 is too much activity or too much noise in the child's environment can overwhelm that child. Number 2, the child then finds it difficult to handle that excessive stimulation, triggering down to this meltdown. So number 2, be aware of the communication issues. Autistic children may struggle to communicate well, or struggle to communicate in ways that others can understand them. You see, as I said before, some autistics may become non-verbal before, during or after their meltdown. Okay, every autistic is different to communicate versus, doing their ways of doing their everyday living lifestyle stuff. It's just a matter of creating a balance and being able to understand them as best as we can and love them for who they and what they are. This can feel incredibly frustrating. So number 1, the child finding no other way to handle the bottled up emotion may finally lose control. Number 2, honour all forms of communication, be it spoken words, written words, their body language and behaviour. Children are more likely to melt down if they think it is the only way that you'll listen to them. Number 3, try and avoid overwhelming the child with information, especially spoken information. The child may be unable to process so many words. Panic and meltdown. It is best to give pauses, breaking things into steps, or use visual aids, e.g. lists, to help them keep track of things. Number 3, teach the child to communicate their thoughts and feelings to others and to you. This will help them to voice out their needs if need be, if that problem occurs of a meltdown or just anything in general when it comes down to communication. As we know, communication is important in anything. This will also prevent emotions from bottling up so much that will lead up to that stage of them with the meltdown. Listening carefully to the child's communication will tell them that you care about what they have to say, and it will encourage them to talk to you more, and it will build up their trust in you. So number one on this is consider developing a separate signal for the child to use when feeling stressed or overwhelmed. At this signal, you will help the child to disengage from that situation. Number two, praise them when they exhibit good communication skills. Examples here: asking for help, asserting your needs, setting boundaries, etc., etc. Number four, listen to your child on a regular basis. It's always important to listen to your child, as we know, no matter if they're autistic or not. Ask them questions such as, how's their day? How are they doing? How did the child feel about what they were doing? And the list goes on. What did you get up to? Seek first to understand and worry about the judgment later. This will help your child to trust in you, and that they can feel they can seek you out whenever they feel upset, worried, or all the way. So number one for that is to teach them that no means no. Listen when they tell you no. If a child knows that concert scares me, is a valid reason not to go to a concert. They are more likely to think that you're wandering off scares daddy, is a valid reason not to wander off. Number two, if you can't honour a no, try to compromise and offer a clear explanation. For example, if your son or daughter doesn't like the car seat, find out why, and if there's a way to fix it. For example, letting him or her sit on a pillow to make the car seat's bottom more comfortable for him. Offer an explanation of why something must be done. Example-wise, again, car seats are necessary for safety. This tells them that no means no unless there is a very good reason otherwise. So give a no means no basis, and then a reasoning, so to speak. Number three, last but not least on that bit of it, is never punish your child for coming to you with a problem. Even if they did something bad, instead help them fix it and explain what they could have done instead. If reparations or repetitions must be made, ask them what they think would be fair. This makes it clear that they can talk to you no matter what. Number five, avoid straying too far from the child's normal routine. As we know, autistic children and many other children with special needs may rely on routines to give them a sense of security and stability. Changing a routine may feel upsetting, and it's upsetting the universe to them, of order, law and order. They may become confused and may begin to panic. So, tip here is when there is a change in the routine, however, it helps to explain it as early as possible so that it doesn't cause them to have that meltdown or turn to stress and worry and panic and all these other emotions rolled into one. For example, maybe if you're going to the airport to pick up his or her aunt, tell him or her the day before, the morning before, and before you get into the car. This gives him or her a chance to emotionally prepare. But therefore, like I said, it's always basically good to, in that part of the change of routine, to tell us if there was during the day, or as it says there, during the day before, the morning before, and before anything else you think is likely to change. It's a good means of, like I'm reading here, to get emotionally prepared, and also to hopefully, if need be, we can actually seek out what we can do to actually maybe do something else if that shows change. It's just common courtesy and common knowledge, as well as also just being aware of knowing what we need from you, so to speak. So that's a matter of speaking. If you're the type of person, here's an example, I'll put this down as an example, and you're like me, and you plan things, okay? I'm a planner usually, as well as a doer, but it doesn't always fall through for the plans that I try to do. But bear with me here. If you're a planner, okay, and you plan about going about your day, okay, you have everything set up, you're getting up in the morning, you're about to get ready for work, you've got a business meeting. After that meeting, they want you, if you're a PA for example, to type out the agenda. From there, of the agenda, you want to go on a coffee date with your girlfriend or boyfriend, you say. Okay, right. And then you've got another important meeting at the end of the day. But you weren't fully prepared, you say. Or you were fully prepared, but you didn't take full attention to that previous meeting that actually was telling you what is about to come up next in your list of agenda of what needs to be done in that meeting. Now, what I'm saying here is that's similar to what I'm saying here. If there's a change in a routine on your day, what my question is to you while I'm sitting here doing this example, how would you feel if that was changed without knowing, without any form of communication from a peer of your office staff telling you that you've got something, you need something else to be done? Would that be fair on you not to know, or are you the kind of person that will just carry on and actually go about your business and try and go back to your routine if you were like me in a routine basis and just do the best you can to your ability and just try and complete that task or whatever it was that interrupted that part of your day? Comment below and let me know on this. Number 2 on this, try use daily and weekly schedules. Laminate them so you can change the dry erase marker, however, illustrate them if need be, as I said, because we're all about the list versus the visuals versus everything else. This may help a child to visualise what will happen eventually. Number 6, be careful about intervening if unnecessarily. Sometimes it comes up amounts of involvement which the child does not expect or appreciate can cause a meltdown. Okay, be in this or not. This can be especially true when it involves their food. Okay, they expect people around them to respect their need to be independent and do things on their own. Some autistics like to be able to be independent. We don't like to be model coddled. We don't like to be basically thing. Just because we are autistic or autistic, holistic, whatever you want me to call this, and you think that we need to be wrapped up in cotton wool. No, not necessarily true. We like to try and be as normal as possible, like MTs, and actually prove to ourselves, that we can do anything in our reach, regardless of what it may be. Okay, a classic example is here. Your daughter might want to apply butter to her bread by herself. If you take the knife from her hand, she may feel that you're undermining her and may begin to cry, throw a hissy fit, or the complete outwardly just start to depending on it. If they get that frustrated, they might end up throwing toys around. Number 2, outwardly, it might look a trivial issue, but it holds enormous risk for the child. It might start a tantrum, then leads to a meltdown. Therefore, the best thing you should do for your child would be to let that child to try and do it themselves rather than breed, because every child needs to learn how to do everyday tasks at their own speed or pace, no matter what age they are, because obviously some of us are slow learners, some of us are fast learners, some of us are think learners, some of us are slow thinkers, so it's just a matter of just guiding us gently in the right direction to basically know what we're doing is wrong. Just maybe observe from a distance, and then need be basically, if you feel that they're going the wrong way about doing something, then ask them politely, are you okay with that? Do you need a hand? Wait for them to say no's on that, and then if so, say to them, right, I said, let's look at a problem together or something like that, and then actually maybe guide them in a gentle way to that point where you want that's achievable for that stage of what they may have done wrong. And that's key example. Maybe another one is if you're seeing a son basically trying to build up a kitchen set on his own, and you notice that he's got the wrong size nail in one part of the kitchen dining set that he's making, don't forever take the hammer away. Just like watch from afar, and if you think he's going to be struggling, then maybe approach him gently. Then the same questions involved. Are you okay? Do you need a hand? What's the problem? why is it a problem? Shall we fix this problem together? Wait for these years and no's and then get involved with the child. Don't over try to take full force thinking that, they can't do anything. It's a no-no. I've seen that so many times before. Last but not least, many parents find it useful to let the child try to do specific tasks. Okay, this is what I just said just now. I'll repeat this. You may ask your child, would you like some help? If the child appears to be struggling with this will allow the child to choose for themselves and when to ask for help when they need it. And also, when that's learning to ask for help when needed, while struggling, it will build up trust between you both, that, in the long run, regardless of what it may be. So that basically ends the parts of when a child is having a meltdown, how to calm them down before, during and after and whatnot. Give me the thumbs up for support, comment below to what I've just challenged you guys on. Basically, feel free to also private message me on AspieAnswersAll or direct message me on YouTube. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends, like I said, because some of these videos I feel close to my heart right now, regardless of what topics they may be. It needs to be a gentle reminder on some bits, especially on the ones that I'm doing right now. Just a real, hopefully quick, short overviews of my how-tos or tips and advice on some bits for people that has autistic children or people with ADHD and the like, because I'm hoping that in the near future that I'll be able to be of value of these videos online. But anyway, enough for the do, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you all again soon. Ciao for now.